a lot of times we get attracted to Bhakti,
Mm.
but we don't necessarily get attracted to Krishna or Radha and Krishna. Right? Like, in other words, it makes lots of everything they just said about the world and how we relate to it. I'm not the body. All this stuff is totally making sense. And all the pieces are falling together, but there's still something that doesn't quite click in, and that's Krishna.
Mm.
Right? It's like, who is this? And a lot of the things he seems to be doing, I don't know if I can fully relate. He's killing people left and
He's
right.
killing demons.
Doing all
He's
the things that
killing,
he's
God killing
doing.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Don't worry, it's good.
Right.
It's like, oh.
And so you gotta penetrate into that. You gotta hear it from people that really can explain it,
Mm.
and then you begin to hear it in another way, and then the heart has to open to Krishna,
Yeah.
and the heart has to open to Radha, and that can make such a huge difference that it's like, now if you have that kind of hesitation in you, it can go on for years. You really have to penetrate into it, and when you do, you begin to here's a key. Okay, this is a key. Even if you read something about Krishna, you hear something about Krishna, and you don't understand why, there's an answer. There's always an answer to
Mm.
why. And you may not be able to understand how that is the answer, but trust me, it is the answer. You just have to find out how that's the answer. But why is Krishna doing this? The answer is always
Mm.
for love. The answer is, why is Krishna dancing on the head of this serpent?
Love.
Love. Yeah.
Why is he punching that horse in the throat? Love.
Why does he have 16,108 wives?
Love.
Love. And it's always not just love, but the purest love. And it's always a way of
Punching a horse in the mouth. Love.
love. It really is. It actually really is. If you understand it right, it's good. It was good for the horse,
It's good. Trust me.
and,
The horse liked it.
but it was also doing something for everybody else that horse was threatening. In other words, one way that why do all these movies show these heroic moments where someone saves the one that they love?
Mm.
Because there's intense emotion of love in that circumstance, and Krishna is living in those circumstances all the time by divine arrangement, because it facilitates the deeper feelings of love. But he can do it in a way that nobody suffers, even the horse. We all love horses, and he loves horses
Yeah, he
too.
loves horses.
So there's a key there, and we need to try to understand Krishna, his personality, and when we understand that, we will understand that actually he is all about love. And when you actually get that
Mm.
point,
So I don't know
everything
if
will
you're
be.
making this point, but it is the point too. We talked about music. We talked about being joyous in your own service. We talked about prasad, the importance of good prasad. But Kostuba's this point, I think he's making, is when you hear the pastimes of Krishna.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't get it, but when you hear it from someone who has an affection for Krishna, they planted that seed right in your heart. And then it's like, yes, Krishna, I get it now.
Right.
And we've had that happen to us when we were young men. And then we fall in love with Krishna. So yeah, maybe
I,
that's your job. Fall
I
so deeply in love with like young Krishna. And then you just share these pastimes with them. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a Bhakti Yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. It's Monday, October 13, 2025. It's episode 1683. Hello, beautiful people. We're winding up the Wisdom of the Sages retreat on Columbus Day. It's Columbus Day? Columbus Day.
Indigenous persons.
Indigenous person. Who is indigenous, actually?
People that were from these tribes, the Native American
Yeah, but they
tribes.
came from somewhere. It's not like they were the original people.
All right,
Everybody's
let's
coming
not
from
get into
somewhere.
the-
Where do you begin history? It goes like that, right? But anyway, good morning. Happy Monday. We're winding. It was a very, very sweet retreat. I will say.
Very sweet retreat.
This Wisdom of Sages community is what a
Dear
gift.
to our hearts.
It's so dear to our hearts. And yeah, people we haven't met before are like old friends now. And people we've met even in a moment, they're like good friends now. And then people have been in our lives for a decade. They're like, they're our dysfunctional family now. It's just, Amara made this incredible birthday cake for my mother last night.
Carrot cake.
Carrot. Oh my!
Spice.
It was so good. And my mother, she was in the kirtan doing her hand gestures, and I was like, I saw you dancing, and she goes, "I'm doing my exercises." It's the only thing she's got left is to spin her hands like this. And she just said to Henry last night, she said, "These are beautiful people.
No.
These are beautiful people." So I was saying in my morning sangha this morning that, I wasn't the best son. I left home at a young age.
But you left it to find truth and to bring it back. You're a
Maybe.
great son.
Yes, I am pretty good. Well, I just wasn't there. I feel for like my other siblings were,
Okay. But now
and
you are.
and I'm really like realizing like this is the final chapters of my mom. She's 99 years old, and I feel like I want to spend more time with her. I want to bring her up here. I want to go down there more and see her, and to have her favorable towards Bhakti at this time in her life is like I feel like I'm finally like
Full circle
redeeming.
kind of thing.
I'm redeeming myself.
Yeah.
She's happy to see her. She's happy to see us happy. She's happy to see all the people. She loved speaking to everybody. It was such a good, warming feeling for me.
Great.
Do you have any moments this weekend that you really liked?
I had so many moments, Raghunath.
I'd like one or two.
I
I'll take two.
okay. We do have to get onto the
I
questions.
know, but this is important.
Okay. Um, I, w- I mentioned earlier the Dhammadarastical prayers to see. It's such a I'll say the word esoteric, but it's really not capturing what I want to catch. It's such a deeply beautiful
Mhm.
part. It's kind of like where all of this goes to. There's knowledge that we need to understand who we are, learn to control our senses, learn to not be, let our lower nature overtake us and cultivate good qualities. But where it all goes is to that place of this totally pure, incredibly deep love
Mm.
that's expressed through this incredible poetry and song, in a beautiful ritual. Um, and to see so many people come to that place, like reach that place where they understand it, where they appreciate it, is just a wonderful feeling.
Sure, the depth of it as you're speaking, but even in the simplicity of it, like a little child just offering a candle.
But especially the depth.
Yeah, but the simplicity is also very beautiful.
The deeper
Anything
you
else
go,
that
the simpler it gets in one sense. And
yeah, and the simpler it goes is
the
it's
deeper it
actually
is.
quite deep. Any other little parts of the weekend?
You said just one.
I know, but I know one other one.
Um, it was. I really enjoyed speaking to the. Someone sent some photos of it to Chapo, and she wrote that was me in my element. Just to be able
Mm,
to sit with people, speak, take questions, hear their thoughts, go back and forth
mhm.
is real joy.
Yeah, Mike Stone did really well for Bhakti Recovery. People were
Oh
like
yeah,
in tears. People were really touched deeply. We want to thank him.
kirtans were exceptional.
Kirtans were great.
Maya is really, it's not just like the skill, but it's actually what when I know the kirtan leader is getting really good is when the the group is responding with focus and enthusiasm. And she's getting people there.
Mm,
She's really getting people there. That's the real thing, for a kirtan leader. It's
really proud of Maya.
yeah.
And I'm proud of Jana Priya, if I may so.
Oh,
Jana
we're
Priya
proud
played
of
the
him.
violin. It was beautiful. We were
Yeah.
saying, Kostu was saying earlier, how it's like sometimes when you get another instrument in,
There she
it
is.
sometimes can be a distraction from the holy name. Jana Priya, it made you chant the holy name more. You heard the holy name to the
Yes.
sound of the violin. I know we're playing the Lazy Susan here and spinning this. I want to hear Mara. Do you have a moment that you really liked, that you enjoyed this weekend?
I also thought that the kirtans were like exceptional this
Mhm.
weekend, and I felt like the kirtan leaders really brought like it was like everyone was feeling it. Everyone that was listening could like was
No
feeling
doubt.
it. And it was really next level both nights.
Special. Was there one particular kirtan leader that you just tease? I gotta give shout props to Mara because she's working around the clock. Love you, appreciate you, thank you. Okay, it's Q&A day again, and we're bringing live Q&A to you on Monday morning,
Yeah.
and we're gonna start with
Jeremiah's been waiting days with his question. We got to get to
Jeremiah from Kentucky, bring him down.
He's coming on over. Coming from Kentucky.
You know, think about these.
This perfect. However it works.
All right, how are you? I want to say about this Jeremiah. He's like an old hardcore guy from Kentucky.
What do you mean old?
An old, and he had been
Old school.
old school,
Well,
hardcore guy.
Good save.
And he has got this Bhakti Seva attitude the whole time. Him and CJ were just like powering through. What can we do? Like menial. We want the most menial service. Is that type of attitude that really attracts Krishna? Like this person's not doing anything for ego here. He just wants to give back to the devotees. And it's been such a pleasure to get to meet you and have you on board this weekend.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And how can we serve you?
So to give you some backstory, I was gonna plan to make this like a full like Bhakti weekend, just like drown myself in Bhakti. And so I told people before I went to New Vrindavan on Thursday, got to spend some time with the deities, and then came here and just kind of like I just on my drive because it was like 9 hours from New Vrindavan. I was like, all right, Krishna, give me this. Like, I want this. I want this. I just want knowledge. I just want this. Then I just kind of felt a slap in the back of the head, like, quit asking for stuff.
Right.
So like my question, I wrote it down so I didn't forget it. So I've been realizing that I can't fast track Vedic knowledge or spiritual experience. Krishna gives us what we can digest, not what we demand. How do I let go of the desire to control my progress or seek more experiences instead of learning to genuinely trust Krishna's timing?
Excellent question. We've had there's been a theme the past few days about
Yeah.
patience, right?
Patience, waiting.
Yeah. I think there's another question maybe about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're eager, man. Sorry. We're eager.
Will you want to start this one first?
Sure. The eagerness. It's sometimes with bhakti is this it's so fascinating the theology of it and how deep it goes. But there's this aspect of bhakti where it's like the things that are bad materially are good spiritually.
Interesting, isn't that?
Yeah. So both on the super esoteric level, but also just like the idea of greed. Generally, when we think of greed, we think of it as a bad thing. But we're here to enter into to the to the deeper chambers of divine love of bhakti. That there's only one requirement. It's not your intelligence. It's not your renunciation or austerity or a lot of the other things that are considerations for other paths of yoga. But it's actually greed. It's actually like, which means I want that, and I really want it. I don't want other things. I'm focused. This is what I want. That kind of that's yoga in the sense that it's one pointed focus, and so there's no harm in your desiring, and even praying for I want to be this because I want to be your full instrument. I want to be the best I can for you. That's there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The only thing is that we do patience is we can't demand it, and we but in one sense that's not a problem because ultimately we can only live in the moment, right? And that's yogis kind of they have that understanding more clearly than anyone. They're not living in the past, they're not living in the future. It's the right now that matters, and right now any of us can serve, right? There's absolutely no material um hindrance or obstacle that can prevent one from saying I'm going to serve right now. Even if you're a paraplegic, lying in a hospital bed, in your mind you can serve. And that service is just as real as any externally expressed service. So we want to become um, better in every way. We want to have full knowledge, full renunciation, full commitment, and especially full awareness. Right? I want my awareness to be always absorbed in the divine. Um, we have to be patient for that, but in this moment you can have that absorption by washing the dishes. You can work for me, bring your mind to me that way. Krishna says in the Gita. So don't be, again, enthusiastic and determined and patient, and that altogether is our path moving forward.
I like that. That enthusiasm we see in the material world is important to get ahead in your material life. In relationships, we say enthusiasm. You got to be enthusiastic. You can't have your partner say, "Hey, honey, look what I've got for you," and you'd be like, "Eh, whatever." We need some enthusiasm in our relationship. And all the great acharyas say you need enthusiasm in bhakti. I find that I get enthusiastic by associating with enthusiastic people, you know. And Kostuba had this great point about the hard times in bhakti. We're, that's what we're for. And a lot of us have been through seasons of struggle in our life. I remember I was going through a season of struggle, and we go through it in relationships. And I remember the last times in my relationship, there was a few, people that I look towards, as my friends. But in one sense, I keep friends that are like gurus in their own. Kostuba's like a guru to me. Tara's like a guru to me. We have like peer
For each other,
gurus,
yeah.
people we just trust. I trust the way he walks his talk, and and their integrity of their life. And I remember just saying to Tara, our good friend, I just said, Tara, I'm just going, I'm struggling so much in my relationship. And he goes, "Oh, you're struggling. That's good."
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean it's
If
good?
it's bad,
He goes,
that's
"Oh,
good.
yeah, yeah." He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. When it's bad, that's good. Then you realize the temporality of material existence. He goes, "It's not good, is it?" I go, "No, it's not good." He goes, "Okay, because when it's good, that's when it's bad." It's like everything is in opposite land in bhakti. Because when things are good in the material world, I forget. Then the material world is temporary. That there's an urgency to bhakti. There's an urgency to take this stuff seriously. I want to wake up my mother today or to put a cover on her. She's sleeping on the couch. She likes to be on the couch.
You
Kostu-
have her sleep.
Kostuba took her room anyway.
The master bedroom.
Kostuba took so the couch is easily accessible to everywhere. But she was laying on the bed, but she was laying with her mouth open. She almost looked like she was dead. And I was just like, God. And I was like, this is right. This is the urgency that I'm going to be old in a moment. Someone just said in our sharing, like it was a moment ago, that I was jumping on the trampoline, and now I'm older. And then we see grandma, and that's why it's important to have generations in your life.
Yeah.
Because you witness, like, oh, these are the phases, right? And
That was one of the things about the weekend. All the generations are here.
all the generations are here.
From very young to
99.
Yeah.
Practically doesn't get older than
Yeah.
99. You
Not
know what
much.
I mean? But we will say our Wisdom of the Sages retreat next year.
We're gonna
We'll
have
do
older people.
I think if it's like a yogi back from the Himalayas, they say it's 240. They say it was born when the Great Flood happened. But maybe we'll be here for Grandma Terry's 100th birthday.
Let's
that be
make that
great?
happen. Let's make that happen. Wait, so we will have older people here.
Yeah. We'll all be older.
Yeah. Although
yeah.
some of us may die and be reborn and come younger.
As little babies. But I will say, Krishna has this plan for you. And so you just keep doing what you're doing. And it seems like the hands of the clock are not moving, but they're moving. If you're chanting this holy name, and I've seen this happen in my own life, sometimes you're chanting, it's like, what is this doing anything? It's doing stuff. It's doing stuff so much. We just can't see it because we're just like in it. But if you step back and look at your life, about how much, a lot of us can do this right now. Step back and look at your life. Where were you a year ago? Or 4 years ago? Or 12 years ago?
Ooh.
Right? It's like, I was a whole different person. And even I don't even have to go back to my material life. Like I can go back to my beginning years, my first decade into Bhakti. I was like, Bhakti's changed, rewired my thinking. I think different now. So it's happening. It just may not happen as quick as I want it. And I'm from like, I want it now. I want it Amazon Prime delivered by a drone. Like as soon as I buy now, get it now. I love that Amazon was like same day delivery. Possible. It's like it's a guy waiting outside with like a truck. It's like how are they
kinds of stuff in there?
I can do it. So yeah, it's not going to come prime necessarily, but it might.
But if we were able to fully zoom out and look at this timeline of not just this life but the many lives, it's happening very fast.
Yeah. I was right before we got this place, this farm. I always wanted to do this farm, and I thought the house before I was renting was going to be the farm. It was not far down the road. It was backed up to a forest, a national forest, and we got evicted. I had to get this house quick, and it was like right on the main road. It was a nice house, but it was like right on 203, which is a main, and it was right during the fair season, the Columbia County Fair. So it's like trucks are going up and down the road, and I was just like losing my marbles. I was like, this is not what Krishna wants me to do. Why did I get this house? And I went to see Raghunath Swami, and I said, Maharaj, I don't know what's going on. It seems like Krishna wants me to do something bigger with my life and to reach. I have so many students all in this whole area. It's like, why did he put me at this house? And he goes, oh, is it a horrible house?
That's good.
I was like, no. No, he said, no, no. I said, no, it's actually a very beautiful house. And he goes, I go, we were just hoping to do something like in the countryside and where people could come. No one can come to this house. And he goes, sometimes you think you're going to go one direction, and then something comes out right from behind,
Yeah.
that you're not expecting, and there it is.
Mm.
But Krishna has a higher plan for you.
Mm.
Don't get caught up in what's right in front of your face. You don't think Krishna knows your best
Yeah.
interest?
Yeah.
Don't you think Krishna knows exactly what you need?
This whole theme of patience and everything, and you're bringing that up. One thing it came to me just by association with Radha Swami is that wisdom has a lot to do with understanding how things grow. That's why a lot of time wise people spend a lot of time in nature
Plants.
with plants, and they grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Maybe you want to spend a couple extra days here and we can
we-
talk.
it's-
Talk about.
right, you don't know how I grow. You see, that's the point, right? You have to stop. Look how I grow. but 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 it's a fact, and I can always see that many times in my own life I've gone to him with similar things. I'm doing Maharaj, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and then nothing comes from it. He said, no, 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 no. Like you have to understand what stage of growth this is at. And he kind of has. Most of us are going through life without like observing, but he's like observing.
Yeah.
And you can see this is how things work, especially when you bring the Krishna factor into it. But
Sure.
this is how things work. Where you're at right now is not going to be where you're going to be at, and but this will play a role in it. And to have that, we were talking about surrender yesterday and what it looks like, and that idea that Krishna is my provider, Krishna is my protector. Having that faith, even when it looks like this isn't right, and having a little bit of patience, and then we see it grows in ways, and then you look back, and you say, "Oh, I thought." Almost all these good things start difficult and confusing and everything, and then you look back and say, "This is what he wanted for me. This is."
I get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeremiah,
Thank you,
what a
Jeremiah.
great pleasure having you this weekend. We want everybody, remember, next year, Memorial Day and Columbus Day weekend, we're having our Wisdom of State. It's become official.
Okay.
We tried to start an annual 4th of July thing. That never worked.
We had one.
We had one. It was the first
We
annual.
called it the annual.
And perhaps the last.
Yeah.
We were like, let's start a tradition. Let's start a tradition. It was like, meow. But so it's been working out Memorial Day and Columbus Day. Boom. Sounds good, Miss Mara? Okay,
All
great.
right.
Mara, okay, is it? Thumbs up. Ah, who's next?
I think Page
Jana
Family
Pri-
Bhakti.
Page Family Bhakti. Okay,
Yeah.
that is Jana.
Oh, that was such a
she
great
changed it.
question, but okay.
Okay, she wants to change at the last
Changing
minute.
us up.
Yeah. Imagine if she just flipped and just like,
But the most controversial.
what happened to
Go back to the other question, please.
her?
Haribol. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. This has just been such an amazing weekend. So much knowledge, so much love and friendships. And Bhakti is to be shared. So we're all doing that together.
Good food, good knowledge, good association, good music,
Good wood splitting. That was
good
fun.
wood split.
Hey,
did not
before
do
you
that.
go, before you Before we start, I just want to say you really inspired me because, like I said, I played violin for years.
I saw Raghunath. I actually videoed it. Raghunath playing.
Oh, really? Well, and you let me play your violin, and I was so nice to play the violin again. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna. At that moment, I was like, I'm just gonna buy a violin and just like drop $600 buy a violin. I was like, how much is violin? She's like, it was like 1,000. I was like, it's a 1,000. She goes, well, it's a thousands. I was like, okay, like. I was like, oh, I like 2,000. I get 2,000. She's like, it's more like upper 3,000.
Never
And I was
play-
like,
I've
I
never
was like,
played that thing again.
gonna go back to the kazoo. Okay, gonna go back to the. But it is a nice violin. I really should actually get a violin. I do, but it's probably junk compared to that. You can play it when you're done. You tell me. You can just say no, don't do it.
We'll see if it's worth fixing it up.
Yeah, okay. So Janapriya,
Okay.
thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, sharing that is just the best. Okay, here's my question.
Questions.
So we have a very beautiful community in Chicago, and some of our members are here today.
So nice.
She's talking a lot about this community in Chicago. It's as if she's trying to drag people from our community
No,
to her
no.
community.
Only
It's my vibe.
Easy, Raghunath. Easy.
Okay.
No. We have a lot of people that are new to Bhakti.
Okay.
So what advice do you give to new people who've never met Krishna, never heard of Bhakti Yoga, to start to grow the not the creeper, what do we call it?
The vine.
The
The
vine.
vine in our hearts.
Me and Kaustubha have decided that the classical translation of Bhakti Lata, which is called the devotional creeper, creeper's sort of taken on a new meaning in the last maybe 3 years. I haven't said like, like we say, I'm on an elevator and this creeper walked in. Right. But traditionally creeper means like a beautiful vine, a Bhakti creeper. But we could say the beautiful Bhakti, what, jasmine
creeper,
vine.
it's good in the sense that it gives the impression that, because like creeping is like a slow movement, a climb, yeah,
A
climbing
climbing, and it
vine,
climbs.
a climber.
A climber.
Mhm.
The divine vine. How about a divine vine? Anyway, we're gonna think
That
about it. We'll
creeps.
come back to you. The divine jasmine vine.
Okay.
Okay, go on. Is there a question I can't remember?
Okay, quiet on the set here. people.
Quiet. This group is that you know why, everybody on Zoom today. I'm just letting you know it's waffle day.
Oh, everybody's
And
excited.
everybody's like, "Ooh, waffles. There's something about a waffle. Everybody crazy."
All right. Are we having the maple syrup?
Yeah, are we having the maple syrup showdown? See, we've had maple syrup sent to us from all over the world at this point. We have New York, Maine, Vermont, and we even
New
have
Jersey.
Jersey in the
Oh, yeah,
running.
Jersey.
So, how we doing this, Miss Mara?
We are having a maple syrup tasting, but we're a little disappointed because Kaustubha Prabhu has to
Well,
go
if
to
we
make
do it
his
during the
food.
show, because I got to go as soon as the show's done.
That I didn't think Raghunath should be allowed near maple syrup and computer equipment. I thought
Yeah.
that might be a bad idea.
Like his microphone would be like.
My beard is all knotted together.
Probably be allowed.
Well, they could just
All right,
feed
here,
it to
I
me.
think let's just give
Why don't we
Kaustubha
get
a little spoons
more
of, and we're going to have a closed eye test,
blind eye?
a blindfolded test to see which is the best maple syrup.
We're taking the question.
Is Janapriya here?
We need to pour them
Wait.
in little.
No, you can't.
Oh yeah, I
They
can't.
can't. They can't see them. You have to know what they are, Lolita, and then you got to bring them to Kaustubha.
All
I
right.
can't believe I'm untrusted with sticky things. This is ridiculous.
You're a spiller.
I'm 59 years old.
I almost
Okay.
became a spiller.
Can we get serious, please? I apologize to our
Okay, the
Our
question again
audience.
was what to share with people that are new to Bhakti,
to attract them to Bhakti.
new to Krishna.
All right,
What's that?
here. Taking the
Me
mic
for
on this
meeting
one.
Krishna.
I'm going to take the mic on this one.
All right, take
I think
take
it was
away.
Julie said something. What's that? The question? How to attract newer people in Bhakti so something transmits
share
they-
with them.
share with them. I'm going to keep this super simple, but it's the most important. Is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
You have to become happy in your Bhakti. right? And sometimes people are frustrated in their bhakti. They can't figure out where their place is, and they're agitated, or they're living and doing some service they're unhappy with, or living in a place where they're unhappy. Or you can't let you can't spread this good message from a place of your own personal frustration. You have to be joyful in your practice, and then you can give it to so many people. I've seen people who are not joyful practicing bhakti, even leaders, and you can see it and you pick up on it. And even me as a new bhakti, I'll be like, this guy's not happy. I don't want,
So how do you do it?
everybody wants to be happy. How do you got to find what your place is? And uh, I think you and your crew, you're happy. You play the violin for Krishna. You create a sangha for Krishna. It's your offering. And because of that, when people see you, they think, who is this happy person? You know, there was this lady when I used to go to the first temple.
that
I'm
you
going to think of her
butchered?
name. Oh, I know her name. So I
What
used
first temple? The first
the
temple.
first temple that you and I used to go to, the on
Greenwich.
Greenwich Avenue.
Yeah.
So I used to go there, and they used to have a kirtan. Now I wasn't into kirtan. I didn't like it. I didn't know what it was. I really wanted just some free food. I was a cheapskate, and but there was this lady who would sing named Nandimukhi. Remember her?
I do remember Nandi.
Nandimukhi had
Very
such
Nandi.
a joyous face, and the way she would sing.
She was a classy lady.
She was a very classy lady, but she would sing, and I would just be like, I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something right because she's so happy. And you know who else? Lochi Ananda.
Lochanananda.
Locha Ananda. He, an old
Beautiful
school devotee, beautiful singer, and he would an eloquent speaker. I'm sure Damodar Priya remembers. Do you remember Locha Ananda? And yeah, they would speak and sing, and it was so attractive. And I'd be like, all right, whatever this crazy thing is, these guys seem really happy.
Hmm.
And I think that is the best thing you can do to transmit a message. Is you got to be joyous in your devotion. Simple answer, but yeah. And make good prashad.
There you go. Keeps him
So
happy.
simple
I
recipe.
almost feel like reminiscing with you right now because you're bringing
Let's
us.
reminisce. I'm there.
Okay, and then we'll get back to the question. I'll be brief. I have these similar memories at the same time, but in the Brooklyn Temple, which was the other place you go, right? You go Monday, Wednesday, Friday to
Yeah.
Greenwich Avenue, and then
And
Sunday
then
you go to
Sunday at the
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Temple.
And I just remember going there with my friends, people like Harley Flanagan and all these guys, and we would, and their kirtan leaders like Virkeshwar Pundit and people like Bhakti
Burgess
Bhakti
Swat,
Vinod,
Bhakti
It
Vinod.
was like this crew. It was like a serious, like
Mhm.
wrecking crew of kirtan. Like these,
It was like the A team, the all stars.
yeah,
It was like the Rolling Stones of Kirtan every Sunday, taking the house down. And we came from a hardcore scene, which is a
yeah,
pretty intense alternative music scene.
yeah. And this was just as intense.
This was as intense, but
Yeah.
like
But
joyous
beautiful.
and
Yeah.
uplifting.
Yeah.
And people talk about like diversity and stuff like that. This was such a diverse. You have like blacks, whites, Puerto Ricans,
Everything in New
everybody
York, yeah.
together singing in great joy.
Yeah, with such and then you would dance and dance and dance and just go wild. And then you would sit down at the end of it, and then they would sing the Sringadev prayers. And it was always Lochanananda Prabhu that would sing the Sringadev prayers. And then the whole mood just went from like wild and down to like whoosh. And then you'd be sitting there all sweaty in front of Radha Govinda with everybody gathered around, and he would sing the Nrsingadev prayers. And it was almost like being like on a riverbank with great saints or something like that, and it was like it was like a whole nother world.
So are you moving towards great kirtan is what's attractive?
No, I wasn't going there, but
Because
that
it
is
does,
great.
because
Yeah,
that is a very attractive
very
thing.
important point, yeah.
It hooked our hearts
No doubt.
too. I like, I always went to like different swamis yoga centers in New York City, and the kirtan was very sort of like pedestrian. It was simple, but just like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and I'm like clapping my hands. I was like, I'm bored. Like,
Bored.
Prabhu, Alexo knows what I'm talking about, right? It's like real simple kirtan, and it's just like. And then you have these Hare Krishna kirtans that make you want to jump out of your shoes or out of your body. And so, yeah, and you guys are all about music up there. Great kirtan touches the soul. And so you're doing that right for sure.
Okay. no doubt.
right?
What I was going to share is this: is that and this may not apply to everyone, but maybe it applies to a lot of people. Is that a lot of times we get attracted to bhakti,
Mm.
but we don't necessarily get attracted to Krishna or Radha and Krishna, right? Like, in other words, oh, it makes lots of everything they just said about the world and how we relate to it. I'm not the body. All this stuff is totally making sense, and all the pieces are falling together, but there's still something that doesn't quite click in, and that's Krishna.
Mm.
Right? It's like, who is this? And a lot of the things he seems to be doing, I don't know if I can fully relate. He's killing people left and
He's
right.
killing demons.
doing all the things that
I
he's
forgot
doing.
killing everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Don't worry, it's good.
Right.
It's like, oh,
And so you gotta penetrate into that. You gotta hear it from people that really can explain it,
mm,
and then you begin to hear it in another way, and then the heart has to open to Krishna,
yeah.
and the heart has to open to Radha, and that can make such a huge difference that it's like, now if you have that kind of hesitation in you, it can go on for years. You really have to penetrate into it, and when you do, you begin to here's a key. Okay, this is a key. Even if you read something about Krishna, you hear something about Krishna, and you don't understand why, there's an answer. There's always an answer to
Mhm.
why. And you may not be able to understand how that is the answer, but trust me, it is the answer. You just have to find out how that's the answer. But why is Krishna doing this? The answer is always
Mm.
for love. The answer is, why is Krishna dancing on the head of this serpent?
Love.
Love. Yeah.
Why is he punching that horse in the throat? Love.
Why does he have 16,108 wives?
Love.
Love. And it's always not just love, but the purest love. And it's always a way of
Punching a horse in the mouth. Love.
love. It really is. It actually really is. If you understand it right, it's good. It was good for the horse,
It's good. Trust me.
And-
The horse liked it.
but it was also doing something for everybody else that horse was threatening. In other words, one way that why do all these movies show these heroic moments where someone saves the one that they love?
Mm.
Because there's intense emotion of love in that circumstance. And Krishna is living in those circumstances all the time by divine arrangement, because it facilitates the deeper feelings of love. But he can do it in a way that nobody suffers, even the horse. We all love horses, and he
it.
loves horses
Yeah, he
too.
loves horses.
So there's a key there, and we need to try to understand Krishna, his personality, and when we understand that, we will understand that actually he is all about love. And when you get that, when you actually get that
Mm.
point,
So I don't know
everything
if you're
opens up.
making this point, but it is the point too. We talked about music. We talked about being joyous in your own service. We talked about prashad, the importance of good prashad. But Kostuba's this point, I think he's making, is when you hear the pastimes of Krishna.
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't get it, but when you hear it from someone who has an affection for Krishna, they planted that seed right in your heart. And then it's like, yes, Krishna, I get it now.
Right.
And we've had that happen to us when we were young men. And then we fall in love with Krishna. So yeah, maybe that's your job. Fall so deeply in love with like young Krishna. And then you just share these pastimes with them.
I can share one story
Please.
that kind of relates to the same idea. And this was
Please.
the theme of, like, all of this is making so much sense. All of this is really attractive, but there's something that I still don't get that's
Mm.
causing me this hesitation to fully open up. And this was a story that when I was in Rishikesh last, Indrajuna Swami sat down with a few of us.
Yeah.
There was about 10 people were gathered around him. And he was just telling us stories. And he told us a story about how he first came to Bhakti. And he was at the Ann Arbor, the Michigan University there.
Yeah, he told me that story before he told you. Yeah.
Okay. And he was in the art museum one afternoon. And there was all this, like, display of, like, Rajasthani Krishna art.
Right.
But he couldn't make sense of it. Like, who is this blue boy in all of these? And the janitor was there, and he asked the janitor, "Do you know what this is about?" And the janitor, like, looked at the little thing. Well, it says it's Krishna, and now you got to get out of here. We're closing up. So he just said, Krishna, okay. And then he stepped out and as soon as he stepped outside, there was a kirtan going on.
Interesting.
And,
Krishna miracle right there.
And
Boom.
the person leading the kirtan was Vishnu Jan Swami.
Krishna miracle again.
This incredibly influential manifestation of
Living bhakti.
Yeah. And so he's like, he sat down for that kirtan. It blew his mind. Then when it was done, he started talking to him and the devotees that he was with. And it's like, where are you all from? Where did you? He says, well, actually, we're just traveling. Where are you staying? Well, we don't know. Like, we don't know where we're staying tonight.
Mm.
And he's like, well, come stay at my place. So for 3 days, they stayed with him. And they were like these sannyasis. It was like, we stayed for 3 days and then we go. So for those 3 days, Vishnu John Swami was just blowing his mind, his heart. He said the way he sang, the way he talked, the way he cooked, everything that he was doing. He's like, this man is incredible. He was probably 26
You know, it's
years old or something, maybe even younger. Um, and then, but there's one thing that was bothering him. And he said that Vishnu John Swami had this little photo of Srila Prabhupada, and he would do a little puja every day to that photo.
Mm.
And in front of the photograph, he had this silver spoon. It was like an ornate silver spoon. And he was like, well, what's with the spoon? And he said, that spoon was given to me by my spiritual master, by Srila Prabhupada. And it's like, well, okay, but why like some fancy ornate silver spoon? You're like these monks. You're supposed to live simple. Material things don't mean anything to you. And you have this very fancy silver spoon. No, but my guru gave it to me. Yeah, well, why would he give you that? And eventually, um, Vishnu John Swami said to him, I just don't think you're ready to understand this right now. And so he was like, okay. And still, he was so impressed and moved by him, but that still nagging.
They're telling why this material object
Yeah.
is like, why is he worshiping?
Yeah.
You know.
And so then on the third day, he woke up. They would wake up at like 3 a.m. and do this whole morning thing. And then he woke up at 3 a.m. He got up and they were all gone, disappeared, poof. He didn't know if or when he would ever see them again. But Vishnu John Swami left that little picture of Prabhupada, and he left the spoon. So now he's telling this to us in Rishikesh.
Right.
And then he said, and then I looked at that spoon and I held it. And then he just started crying. Not in the old story, but like right there in front of us. He just started crying. And he said, and then I picked up the spoon and he said, and then I understood. Then he understood that spoon meant something to him.
Mm.
Not because it was silver, not because it was fancy, but because it reminded him. It created that it would invoke memory and feelings of love for his guru when he would have that spoon. And so when Vishnu John Swami left it and Indradyumna Swami had it, he remembered Vishnu John Swami by that spoon. Now I understand. It was all about love. It was all about love. And so in Bhakti, that's always going to be the answer. Why is Krishna doing this? Why is Krishna doing that? It's all about love. We just have to see. He couldn't understand it at first. He had some programming in his mind that made him hesitant. We need to get past our material programming in the mind. Even a lot of times it has to do with morality. And we have to understand that our understanding of morality may not be wide enough or broad enough to accommodate this. We need to find out how it needs to broaden. And then when we understand it with that broader understanding, it all clicks. And then the heart opens up. And when the heart opens up, that's when bhakti really starts. It's not just the head knowledge, this all makes sense, but the heart has to open up. And then it really becomes a wonderful, beautiful.
Great story. Now, you think Vishnu John Swami left it on purpose?
Absolutely.
You think, okay.
Absolutely. Oh, no, it wasn't a mistake.
Wasn't a mistake. He didn't like, I forgot my picture.
No, he had this.
He understood it, and he wanted to transmit that lesson.
He knew that there was an affection between the two of them.
Right.
And that he would feel it, I assume. I mean, I can't say, but
Sure.
that seemed to be the implication. It wasn't a mistake that he left. It was something very dear to him. He wouldn't have just forgotten it. But he intentionally left it there. And when Indradyumna Swami told us that story, and he started breaking down.
Did you cry?
I did almost. I was choked up.
Do you ever cry?
I what's this guy? And
are you AI? Are you a droid? Come on, man.
So, but in that, he spoke to us for a few hours, and he began to tell the story of his family. His mother was she was like a professor, but very atheistic, didn't appreciate bhakti at all. At the very end of her life, she opened up. His brother was like a serious drug addict, all kinds of problems and issues. And he got the blessing.
Wait a second, Vishnu Swami or Indrajuna Swami?
Indrajuna Swami.
Oh wow.
And he was saying how Krishna came into the lives of all of these close family members and changed their life. And each time he mentioned it, how merciful, he started crying again.
We say the best thing you can do for the people that you love is for you just to become very, very God conscious.
That's what he did, and it changed their lives. Yeah. Okay. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you so
Was
much.
that a good
It
answer?
was beautiful. Thank you.
That was a great story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
I'm glad he also shared that with you.
Now we have the maple syrup here with 3 spoons.
You
each.
gotta wait, sir. You gotta wait. There's another question out there.
Okay, but I got to split like 9 sharp.
Oh, come on,
I'm
man.
serious.
Is that it? Okay. Can we? All right. We're gonna have to. Wait
We
a
can
second.
take
There's
one more
only
que-
3 maple syrups.
Jersey's not here.
You know, is Maine there?
No Maine.
Maine is missing.
Well, what we got? Vermont.
I think Maine is by the altar.
We got Maine.
I think Maine is by my altar. Our altar.
Okay, but then we have
Okay.
to mix this up in such a way where we.
Yeah. All right. Quickly, let's get another question. Quick. Laura from Chicago.
Hurrah!
You know I like Laura. You know what I'm gonna say?
Tell me.
She's always smiling.
Oh, that's good.
She's got that joy, and she's got that
Welcome.
joy of bhakti.
Morning.
How are you? Great to see you.
Thank you.
You can sit down that little. Yeah, makes me look a little taller.
So I'm editing my question a little bit.
Okay.
Mine is also like Jeremiah in regard to patience. However, kind of going where you guys were just talking about my patience and maybe a lot of us here, I have come to bhakti later in life.
Mm.
And I have this overwhelming sense a lot that one of the reasons I'm practicing is because I'm studying to have a good death out of this material body and to be able to prepare my soul for the next life.
Mm.
And I get impatient with myself with learning prayers and having potential deities in my home and, you know, all of the things. And so I'd like maybe some practical things of how to settle myself with that type of impatience. And the second part of my question has to do with going with the morality. If there's anybody on the show who follows me on social media or in this room, you know, I'm a pretty staunch animal rights activist, and I have felt that one of the things I needed.
Horse story was that?
More stories really Jeff getting at her.
A little bit.
She works for
Uh,
she works for a horse rescue.
There was the duck.
There was the giant snake. Snakes are people too.
Well, there's probably not a lot of followers, maybe in this room, but I've lost a lot of followers over years because you know, I repost videos from people who go into the factory farms and
Right.
film
Rescue.
and you know, bringing the awareness of that to people who may not have ever seen it.
Mm.
However, what I'm learning from one of my sweet teachers that I think is on the show today, Krishna, and you guys, is that really showing my joy. And Jana Priya was talking to me about this last night too in my bhakti, and has more importance maybe in spreading the love and helping people to come to that on their own rather than the violence of the
Sure.
videos and whatnot. So I'd just like to hear your thoughts on both of those things.
Both Prabhupada and Raghunath Swami did not go into animal rights. You know, they didn't pull up, throw a calf in the back of the truck and drive away. They didn't smash windows. They didn't, bomb abortion clinics or,
Well, there was one incident where there were some devotees that were considering bombing like a
slaughterhouse.
Yeah, factory farms.
It's horrible what they do. It's so disgusting and disturbing
That
Kali Yuga that you want to
it could
react.
drive a nonviolent person to want to do something like that.
And we were saying,
What
when you have to
Prabhupada
fight
wrote,
these
he wrote a
monsters.
letter about that, and
Was it?
Prabhupada responded to that. Someone said these devotees are planning to do this,
Right.
And then Prabhupada wrote back and says, that's I forget the exact phrase that he used, but he was essentially what he said was, their minds are becoming like that which they're opposing.
If you're fighting monsters, you got to be careful not to become the monster. And Prabhupada had a better plan. You speak the Bhagavad Gita,
Mm.
and people's hearts change. We really want to change people from the inside out. You can shame people to change. You can make them up, look, shame on them. And people do this all the time on social media. Shame, look what she's wearing. She's wearing that fur coat. You want to shame people to change? Try that with your kids. See how that works out for you. You know, they'll grow up and they'll resent and hate you for it. If we want to change the people, we change them from their heart. And then we make them want to be better because you're such a shining, beautiful example. You can't hate. You got to learn to love. You got to learn to see. You got to learn to
love hate.
Right. Yeah. There's a
love the
reason
hater.
why.
Love the hater.
Yeah. You don't change a mean dog by beating it. You change a mean dog by loving it. And it takes a little bit longer, because you got that dog that's been abused. He wants to bite everybody. You can just give him a shock collar. No, it's not gonna actually change him. You want that dog to become sweet. And it takes a little bit longer, patience, but you got to learn affection towards that angry animal who's been hurt, who's been through the pain, who's been through the trauma. Understand their backstory,
All right.
and then they change from the deepest, most way. And you could see how many people became vegetarians or sympathetic to animal rights through people like Prabhupada who came here and spoke the highest thing, the highest dharma, which
Knowledge
is where
of the self.
knowledge of the self.
Yeah.
From that, all good will come.
That was really good. Raghunath.
Thank you. We got 5 minutes to eat maple syrup.
That okay?
Is that okay?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Just muzzled Kaustubha there. Sorry.
That was good.
And let's hear from Laura from Chicago. All right.
Oh.
All right, now we're getting to the point of the show that everyone wants to know.
Very pale one.
This is very good, and they're all very smart because it's important to drink water between each taste.
This is the darkest of them.
Oh, Mara,
No.
come on. What's the matter with her? Why are you so anti-fun?
It's a bit more amber one here.
Oh, this is beautiful, these colors, huh?
No, I moved the.
Okay, listen. Kaustubha, let these ladies, they're so organized. So here's the deal. We're trying to figure out what is the best maple syrup, what trees are the sweetest. When we were in Italy, we were with our good friend Michele. He was saying, this olive oil from this region tastes like this.
Yeah.
The olive oil from the south tastes like this. So this is normal. There's different minerals in the soil. It sucks up the.
Okay, Mr. Botanist over here. We got to test these things. Oh, that
French waffles.
Oh, sounds like someone's afraid.
Someone's afraid. The Vermonters are getting.
So if Vermont wins, it doesn't count.
All right, there's too many spoons in here. Okay, because
Do
grab a
you
spoon.
think it's better that we dip or that we just take it straight?
Okay,
Take it
let's
straight.
do, wait. Costa, let's do this one first.
Okay.
Okay, we're doing this blind taste test.
Ready?
Ready?
Concentrate.
The lightest in color.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely.
It's
A wash, cleanse the palate.
chocolatey. Little rosé.
Okay. Next
Interesting.
one. That one was really good. I'll say that right now. That one was excellent.
I mean, you went from eating nothing. You went from eating nothing to eating maple syrup. Of course, it was good. Now, can you remember what that was?
What if they put in like some Aunt Jemima and it won? What you're
What-
you're a spiller. You got it on the equipment here.
Oh my God.
So
Number 2 is.
It's the darkest on maple syrup. We should.
I don't want
oh,
any
man.
excuses. I just call it like I see them.
I mean, they're both so good. That was thick. That one was thick, very
There can
rich.
only be one Miss America, Kaustubha.
Okay.
I know they're all beautiful.
Well, cleanse the palate, Raghunath.
I did. Woody. Fragrance.
Very good. It didn't grab me as much as the others, I'll say. It was very good though.
Why? That means I get to have it all.
It means I get to have it all. It's contaminated and
All
it's
right.
yours.
Oh, I gotta cleanse it. I didn't cleanse my palate.
Cleanse your palate. You have to swish it around.
An audio perspective.
That was very creamy. Creamy.
Excellent. Excellent. But I know the winner.
I know the winner too. Number 2.
Number 2.
Oh, it's unanimous.
Number
Who-
1 is a close second. It was very different. Number 1 was maybe for different things.
Mine
I
would
want
be
one.
2, 4, 1, 3.
Mine would be
Two.
2, 1, 4, 3.
Who is number 2? Wait, maybe we should do backwards.
Maybe we should do it the other way.
All right, what was the first one? That was my number.
First
3 or
one was
two?
number 2 for me.
That was the light.
Very light one. It had the delicious flavor.
Wait, get the mirror on the computer screen.
Okay. All right. So the lightest of colors, the first maple syrup you tried was Jersey's.
Jersey. Jersey.
Okay, it was number 3.
Who would have
For me,
thought?
number 2 for him.
I almost gave Jersey number 1.
Okay.
I was very close to giving Jersey number 1.
No, well, the last one I think was number
Number 4 was
that was
number
that was number 2 for
3 for me.
Okay, let's hear. My number 2.
Came from Vermont.
Vermont.
Not from my trees. All right,
It was still excellent. It was
Okay.
still excellent.
Very interesting.
The third one
This one was the lowest one for me.
for you.
New York. It's gonna be New York.
Yeah. It's not in the order of the tasting because I saved number 2 for last because that one was the winner.
Okay.
So this is number
Oh.
3 came from Maine.
Maine.
Which
No, it was the third one we tasted, which
New York, people.
I thought New York. That was not planned. East side, west side,
All around
Let's
the
come
town.
down to meet the Emmy. Yes,
It was
it's
New York.
love new.
It was New
Okay,
York.
Congrats. Was it New York?
It's New York.
one, Okay.
Incredibly rich. You got to taste it. Oh, it's the darkest rose.
It's the darkest rose. Okay, Vermont's complaining.
All right.
Vermont's
We'll do it
saying
again. Next time we'll do it again.
Vermont's saying it's the roast.
All the same.
There's a new one in town, Connecticut.
Oh yeah, it got very thick. Very rich.
Every state is giving up their. Okay, everybody, listen. We got to go. Thanks
I gotta
for.
run.
Kaustubha's got to catch a train. Thanks for all the questions, everybody.